I was a victim of gender-based violence. I was raped this year, January, actually the 1st of February, around 6 o'clock, by my own friend, the person I've been knowing for years. It was so painful. Imagine being raped by someone you know for years. And it's so difficult for me to stand here and talk about it. I've been through a lot all these months. I've been thinking about suicide all my life, these whole months. But what made me stronger, I thought about my daughter. She turned 4 years last month. That's the only reason that made me stand today here in front of everyone. I really didn't expect so much people and to talk about what happened to me.
Today I'm here standing before you, dressed in a green uniform, a uniform that I never dreamed of wearing. I committed the offense of SGBV. I raped a vulnerable person, something that I'm not proud of, and that of I regret very much. I committed the offense when I was under the influence of alcohol and drugs. I was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment, and I'm now 12 years and 7 months in my sentence. The man that committed the offense is not the same man that stands before you today. The man you see today is a changed man. I attended a program called TLS in prison. TLS, which means thinking, living skill. So that when I go, I'm going to be released from prison, I will go back in the community as a law-abiding citizen.
Launching the campaign under the theme Namibia Unite to collectively prevent and respond to SGBV, the Minister of Gender, Doreen Sioka, called out the withdrawal of such cases by victims as the Gender and Justice Ministries amend the Domestic Violence Act. At the occasion, the Minister of Justice, Yvonne Dausab, stressed the importance of decision makers who steer the tide against SGBV.
The truth is, no matter how we look at it, women suffer SGBV disproportionately than men. Femicide is a reality for Namibian women, and it dilutes the fight against this ever-rising scourge if we also try and be politically correct about its impact on the female gender and our girl children. The 16 Days of Activism of Violence Against Women and Children, located in its historic context, speaks volumes about the plight of our women and children, and that predominantly men are the perpetrators. Yes, it is true that women too participate in the violation of fellow women and children, especially when it comes to sexual violence and human trafficking. But it is not true that this is not a result of the patriarchal context from which we come.
In a statement read on his behalf, Inspector General of the Namibian Police noted that The force will take part in the campaign through its women network structures and will launch Operation Basadi for 3 days that will look into SGBV data collection and analyzing call dockets amongst others.
We are analyzing cases where we did not already arrested suspects, and we are intending to assist our criminal investigation units to finalize some of the cases that might be pending because of outstanding investigations. We will also do door-to-door visits during these 3 days, as well as aggressively continue with our campaigns, both within Nampol and with the community at large. I also want to mention that we have embarked upon a number of efforts to address this deteriorating situation of GBV in the country.
One of the youth representatives for #ShutItAllDown called on the government to adequately fund civil society movements that work on the front line with victims of SGBV.
London has about 3,000 protests in a year alone. In Namibia, we have only had about 4 protests, major protests this year. One of them responding to the discovery of the remains of the late Shannon Wassefal, an adolescent girl who was reported missing earlier this year during the very early but restrictive stages of the COVID-19 lockdowns in Namibia. This may very well not be about whether Namibians are not protesting enough or if London has too many protests, but it definitely speaks to the importance and political power which protesting and activism brings to life to address sexual and gender-based violence in our country. Often, it is not the law that is preventing people from being held accountable. It is the culture of impunity. It is the culture of gatekeeping, the culture of silence, a culture which undermines the laws that are meant to combat SGBV in our communities.
Stop the abuse, doesn't matter if she wrong or you right, gotta stop when the woman says no.
Johanita Mavula.